Hi everyone, Matt Watson here from carwow. So I've come to a school in Germany. Now I know what you're thinking, my school didn't look anywhere near as nice as this one either. Anyway, we are here today to learn about the new Audi S3, and to do that I'm going to talk you around the design upgrades both on the outside and the inside. I'm going to test its performance, I'm going to take it to a place with a rude name, and I'm almost going to have a massive high-speed collision on the Autobahn. Then at the end, I'm going to give you my verdict on the car. Now, before we get into all of that, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way, you won't miss a single upload. You ready? Good. Then let's go. Let's start this video by talking about the design upgrades over the normal A3. So being the S3, you get that important S3 badge there. Also, the grille is slightly different as well. It's got these elements filled in, which looks pretty nice. And the surround on this particular one is black because it's an Edition 1 car, which is fully loaded basically. It's a bit like the Vorsprung model as well. Normally, the entry-level car would have a silver surround for the grille. In terms of ventage, that vent is fake. Classic Audi, though this one is real. However, if I move to the other side, the corresponding one here is fake. Still, the front bumper is deeper and more aggressive than the standard A3, and you get LED headlights as standard, though this one has the upgraded matrix LEDs, but all S3s have a certain signature in these LEDs here for the daytime running lights. You get 2 stripes. Moving down the side, you get 18-inch alloy wheels as standard. This one has the upgraded 19s, then these elements are in black here, but on the entry-level S3, they would be in silver. Got these side skirts here, once again in black, and this car has the Audi Quattro rings, which have been stuck on. Yeah, we could probably pick them off and make it look less tacky. Moving round to the back, you got a bigger roof spoiler than before. Also, you got your S3 badging at the rear. You got more aggressive rear bumpers with an integrated diffuser, which of course is fake. It doesn't diffuse anything. At least the exhausts aren't fake. Classic S quad tailpipes, which personally I prefer the look of over the oval tailpipes you get on the RS models. But what do you reckon? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have an argument. Here on the inside of the S3, the most obvious upgrade over the standard A3 are the S sport seats, which are trimmed in fine Napa leather. They're lovely actually. You also get an S steering wheel, which is round, so it doesn't have a flat bottom. There's also some aluminium pedals. You get some S performance dials. You can just have normal dials if you prefer to toggle to those. And you've got a lap timer. You also get a red surround for your stop start button. There's a Quattro badge on there rather than just an Audi badge, which you get on normal ones, because this one has the Quattro all-wheel drive system, being the S model. You also get some S kick plates down there as well. All cars come with a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, which means you get the little knob rather than the bigger knob of the manual. Yeah, if you're a manual fan, you like a bigger knob, I'm afraid you can't get one with the S3. Here in the back of the S3, rear passengers are also treated to some Napa leather sport seats, which is nice. Other than that, it's just the same. There's a decent amount of space. You'll be fine in the back of this. If you go for a Vorsprung model or this Edition 1, you get an electrically operated tailgate on the S3. You don't really need that. The boot though, it's a reasonable size, look, as we're demonstrating now with all our messy kit. However, the capacity is 370 litres, which is 10 litres less than the standard A3. I think that's to do with the fact there's the differential for the Quattro system here in the back. And that's really annoying me because I need to fit in an extra 10 litres, but I just can't. And that brings me on to 5 annoying things about the Audi S3. You might think that you can turn the stability control all the way off by pressing and holding the button. It says it is off, but actually it's still there working away in the background, so you never fully let totally loose or in control. The S3 may well have a sports exhaust, but even in its loudest mode, the car in its sportiest setting, it doesn't sound great. I mean, here's a tunnel, gonna give it a blast. Nah, it's all just like, the integrated headrest design of the front sport seats means that people in the back don't get quite such a good view forward. Oh, damn it. The position of the drive mode select button is really awkward. It's down here, so it's hard to hit where you're driving. Now, you can actually configure this special button here on the steering wheel, but you can't make it control the drive select, which is just absolutely infuriating on a sporty car like this. Even if you have the car in its sportiest setting and the gearbox in manual mode, it'll still automatically change up for you if you reach the red line. Look. There. I'm not allowed to ping it off the limiter if I want to. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. The S3 has upgraded stiffened sports suspension, which sits 15mm low to the ground. Also, if you go for one of these Edition 1 versions or a Vorsprung model, then you get adaptive dampers as standard. Now, these can actually read the road surface and react in a few thousandths of a second. They also provide a greater breadth of ability between comfort and sporty setting compared to the adaptive dampers on the old S3. There's upgraded performance brakes for added stopping power, and look, they have a nice little S logo on the caliper as well. The car is fitted with a special computer which controls all the key driving functions such as the stability control, the Quattro all-wheel drive system and the adaptive dampers if you have them fitted. And it ensures that they all work in perfect harmony. You can sort of consider it as being a bit like the CEO of driving dynamics. The Quattro all-wheel drive system has an electronically controlled multi-plate clutch just ahead of the front axle. Normally the car just drives along in front-wheel drive mode, but when you need some extra traction at the rear, it can instantaneously engage those back wheels. Theoretically, you can send 100% of the engine's power to the back wheels, but the reality is, in practice, a maximum of about 85% of the power, which is slightly more power than you used to be able to get sent to the rear wheels in the previous Audi S3. The S3 gets progressive steering as standard. That means that the steering gets more and more responsive the more you turn the wheel. So if you're cruising along at high speed and you turn it a bit, it means that the car doesn't move much, it doesn't feel jittery, yet when you go at low speeds and turn it a lot, it's really manoeuvrable. Wait a minute, there's a place called Titting. I've got to go to Titting. So the advantage of the progressive steering I'll demonstrate now for low speed manoeuvres, because look, it's dead easy to do a U-turn. Dead ahead to full lock in one whole turn. Makes the car really manoeuvrable. Perfect if you're a slightly childish motoring journalist and want to go to a place with a funny name. Titting, here we come. Not quite what I was hoping for. The most important change that the S3 has over a normal A3 is, of course, its engine. So it gets a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo. Now, it's quite similar to the engine in the old S3. That used to produce 300 horsepower though. Reason is, it used to produce 310 horsepower, but then during a facelift they had to change things for emissions and the power went down slightly to 300. Now for this engine they've changed quite a lot of features on it, so the power is back up to 310 horsepower, got 400 newton meters of torque. Audi says it'll do 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, which I think is a load of shizer. I'm going to see for myself using my specialist timing gear here. So I'm going to launch the car. I got the car in dynamic mode, gearbox in sport, I've got the stability control in sport. I'm going to launch it. Specialist timing gear ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Let's see what it actually does. Launch control activated. Come on, car. There's a 60. Quicker, 4.4 seconds. Are we going to do a quarter mile? Right, I'm running out of road. Oh, I was hoping to do the quarter mile then. I think I was just a little bit shy. It's saying 13.15 seconds. But I reckon I was braking beforehand. Let's give it another go. Right, let's try that again. I'm going to be braver this time. Launch activated. Go. Aha, better 0 to 60, 4.37 seconds. Come on now. How much further to the quarter mile? I'm running out of space. I think I might have made it. I've got a 12.82 for the quarter mile. The thing about the S3 is that while it can deliver impressive performance, it's also super easy to live with every day. So I'm testing out in town. It's a German town, which means that it's relatively empty and the road is super smooth. So very unlike a British town. Oh, look, there's a little manhole cover there. I'm going to go over that. Test the suspension. Seems a little bit firmer than the standard A3, but not bad. Here's another one. I'm going to try and get that. You actually have to actively look for bumps in Germany to give you an idea of what the car might feel like when you're driving the whole time in the UK. It's a little bit difficult. Oh, here's another one. Let's go over that. As far as I can tell, it's fine, but really these roads are too smooth for me to be fully sure. Relaxing, easy to drive around town. The automatic gearbox is doing its thing. I don't even know it's changing gear. It is though. Can't really tell it's smooth. Let's find out what this S3 is like for having the fun on the Autobahn. Fun of the Autobahn. I'm just cruising along at 120 kilometers an hour, about 70-75 miles an hour, using the adaptive cruise control, so it's doing all the things like auto steering, keeping me a safe distance from the car in front. It's keeping it in lane. I'm not taking my hands off the wheel though. What kind of economy are we doing? So it's averaging 7.6 litres per 100 kilometres when just cruising at 120. So what's that, Ollie? Cameraman's got the conversion on his phone.
37.17 British MPG.
37.17 British MPG. You heard the man. That's all right for just cruising along. But we're in Germany. We're on the Autobahn. We're waiting for it to become de-restricted. And here's the sign. Come on, let's do this. Let's see what this does for the economy. Whoa. You can get about Germany pretty blooming quickly. I can tell you that much. Oh my God, it's spinning too quick. 240. Here comes a bend. I'm going to just ease it for this bend. Let's open it up again. This thing is restricted to 250 kilometers an hour, which is 155 miles an hour. Don't think I'm going to get quite up there. We have to brake in a second. Oh, we're getting there. Can I push on for it? There it is, 250. Boom. On the brakes hard. On the brakes hard. We're losing bottles. Whew. That is the thing about the Autobahn. Even a little crash warning came up on the dash. My poor cameraman. If you'd like to come and work for carwow, just apply in the comments. You might be putting your life at risk dealing with an idiot like me. So what did that do to the economy? Well, 15.2 litres per 100 kilometre. Come on, cameraman. The people want to know, what's that?
18.22 British MPG.
But that's not bad considering we're smashing along at around 155 miles an hour. Oh, and it was, I was going to say relaxing, it wasn't. Were you relaxed?
I wasn't till the end.
So two things we've learned. One, when you're cruising, this car can do decent economy. Two, it's blooming quick and can get to 250 kilometres an hour, no problem at all. And three, when you absolutely need to, it brakes well, which is important. So let's see just how much fun this new S3 is then. I've found a twisty road and I've got the car in dynamic mode. I'm going to go into manual for the gearbox. It doesn't take long until you're at the speed limit. That's one of the problems, but let's not slow down for the corners. See if I can just go round. There we go. Yeah, it just grips really well. These German roads are so smooth. This one is probably a little bit worse than the other ones I've been driving on, but they're nowhere near as bad as British roads. The suspension is now in the stiff setting because it's got the kind of dynamic, and you do notice quite a difference between the comfort setting and the dynamic setting. But still, it's not bouncy really. I'm trying to find the really worst bits in the road, and it's not making the car struggle at all. It feels taut, feels serious. I don't know whether it feels quite as involving as I'd hope. There is something slightly more grown up about this S3 than a Mercedes A45 and the lower power A35. They're a bit more raw and that makes them a bit more engaging, whereas this is more sensible. It's sharp, it's responsive, it's impressive, but it's a little bit detached at the same time. Better than the old S3 and more capable, but not the most fun hot hatch. Oh, actually, I found some roads which would be more like British roads. So I'm just going to try it out here. I'm going to put the car into comfort quickly. Right, here we go. Let's get into comfort because I want it in the soft setting for this. Come on, cycle through. Right, here we go. British roads. Yeah, this is it. What's it like now? Oh, yeah, comfort. It's doing a good job. Yeah, that's what it's like driving in England. This is actually better. There's no potholes. There should be potholes to be more British. Yeah, of course I'm joking. Actually, I'm sort of not. Oh, we've come to the end of the road now. And here endeth the video. So there was my final verdict on the new Audi S3. Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the S3. It might not be the most fun hot hatch you can buy, but it's one of the most rounded and it's also blooming rapid. So this guy in this old Mercedes SL, he's just come back because apparently this is his school, well, was his school. He's clearly made a success of himself, hasn't he? Bye-bye. Lovely, classic 300 SL.